What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boston. You are tuned all the way in to I Am Refocused podcast. I want you to stay connected with me on my website, www.bostonsworld.org. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BossTon210. Let's stay connected. And also, if you're in town on October the 14th, meet me at 6633 Walsham Road for the His Light Project. We got live music. I'll be live with a brand new production experience, live band, comedy, poetry, dance. Come fellowship with us. It's going to be good. It'll be great to see you. Peace.
You are listening to Refocused Magazine Podcast with your host, Shamaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now let's tune in to today's podcast.
Hey guys, this is I Am Refocused podcast, and I just want to say thank you guys very much for your support, for listening, for sharing with your friends and family, and just supporting what we're trying to do. We're trying to inspire the community of San Antonio and state of Texas and outside the state of Texas. So real quick, man, I just want to introduce you guys to our co-host, Sam.
Hey, what's up,
And Miss Deborah.
Hello.
And today, we have our special guest, Keedren Boston.
Yes. Yes.
And before we get into that real quick with our interview with Boston, Sam wanted to just do a special segment to Las Vegas. I'm sure you guys know what's been going on in the news. It's crazy out there. So, Sam?
I just want to make awareness because, I feel like I get on Facebook and there's always thoughts and prayers. But, I think we need to not just pray, but, reach out to the next person because no one really knew about this dude. And they didn't see it coming. No one really investigated, I guess, in a way. I just want to let y'all know, just don't do thoughts and prayers. Do more. And I actually wanted to ask you, because you're a performer, so how does that feel? Because, it wasn't just, a bus or something. It was at a show.
Right. Yeah.
And that's scary. Now you can't even have entertainment without being super safe now.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, it looked like thousands of people out there. It was a lot of people out there.
I think about
and for them,
22, they said, or something like that.
Wow.
There's a lot of people out
22,000?
there.
Yeah.
Because it was a big old festival.
Yeah. And the main guy, I forget his name, he was on stage. He was on stage.
Jason Aldean.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy, to think about that. And it reminded me, too, because we were just in London a few weeks ago, and my friend, my brother Puntin, we were there touring, and we were on they call it it's like the subway, the train,
Yeah.
and how they had a bombing, on the train. It was crazy because we were on that same train 2 or 3 weeks before.
Wow.
And just to think how close, you just never know when it'll happen, who will do it. I mean, man, we live in a dark world, man. And it's crazy. And I was hurt, about the Vegas thing. Waking up in the morning, and hearing that, I'm like, man. And the body count just kept going up. The injuries kept going up, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
this is crazy. It was horrific. It was horrific. And to be, an artist, wanted to present something and give something to the people, but they can't even enjoy it, because of fear, and but definitely continue to pray, continue to keep them, in our thoughts, but like you said, we do need to do more, and I think, love can only drive out the hatred that people, show, and so we got to show love to the next person and make sure somebody feels like we got to make
matter. It where it's not just a hashtag.
Yeah.
Where it's more than that. Talk to people about it, literally, and not just conspiracy theory talk, but literally, let them know how you feel. And
definitely,
because I feel like no one reaches out to people to the point where the Sandy Hook thing, couldn't figure out what was wrong with the kid. They couldn't figure out what wrong. And it's just like, well, no one even, they're like, he was a loner. This dude, they're saying he's a loner.
Yeah.
Like, no one, that means that no one really took the time to talk to these dudes.
Yeah.
Figure out them.
Man, and I feel that. And I know that it's a lot of stuff. Because I notice it, like, when you're in the grocery store and you can go and you can be in a grocery aisle and it's so isolated. It can be you and 4 other people, but nobody's speaking to each other.
Right. Let me get my
it's
groceries.
just, everybody's just kind of focused in their own world. And I like to kind of not invade, but I like to break up the monotony, interact with people, make them feel like they're not invisible.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely important in this day and age. Like, we're all here on this earth for a reason. The time that we could have been born in the 13th century, you know what I mean? But we're all at this point in time together. And if I'm in a place like right now, we're in Rockafellas Barbershop. What's the address?
1733.
1733 Babcock.
Shout out to Rico Rodriguez, man, the owner. Yes, sir.
Definitely. So we're all here. We got a young lady getting her hair done. Good morning, right? Right. We're all here on purpose, right? And purpose. And so I don't think that there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to speak and be able to interact with people that we come in contact with every day. There's billions of people on this earth, but we only come in contact with a few hundred every day. So when we get into that atmosphere, why not interact? Why not do those things to where people feel like, they're exactly, and now we can't, evil is evil, and that's not going to change, and I believe that it's not going to change until God comes back, until he changes and do his thing. We're going to live in this crazy, dark, sinful world, but for us to do everything that we can to show love to the next man, the next woman, boy or girl, to make it a little bit more loving and caring. And I think that'll make the difference, one situation, one person at a time. But it's horrific, man, to hear stuff like this happening, man. Like, that's
tragic.
It's tragic, man.
There's a lot of stuff going on. You got that, and you have the crazy weather. I mean, it's the headlines. It almost is like, what's today,
man?
But going back to you, Keedren Boston, the artist. Tell us about your recent trip and tell us what all you did and how the vibe was overseas. That's
man.
The most interesting question. Is it the same vibe in the States or is it different?
No, it's different, man. It's different. Like, you go over there.
How's the jet lag,
man? Okay, now that's real, bro. Oh my goodness, what's up? I'll get into that. So this was our 3rd time going to England. We hadn't been back in 7 years. 2010 is when we were last there. So a lot of things have changed with social media, with the economy growing and building new buildings and stuff like that. So the stuff that we got a chance to see 10 years ago has, gotten a little bit older, and then they got new stuff. And so going to see the kids that were teens back then, and now they're young adults, and so getting the chance to see them again and kind of reunite with them.
It's like a family reunion.
Exactly. It was awesome, man. And then meeting the new people. So the point of us going over there, me and my friend Greg Cooks, a.k.a. Puntin, shout out to Puntin, we go over there to interact with the youth that are there. We were in a city called Cirencester, a couple other cities in England, and we go out into the communities, into the parks, and their parks are beautiful over there in England. That's where people go. They go to the park and they hang out and they just chill, play soccer, and throw frisbees. So we go out and reach out to the people, to the teens, to youth and young adults. We set up concerts. We actually have a team over there, a ministry, New Life Church. Shout out to Pastor Kyla, Pastor Greg husband. All you guys, love you guys, New Life. They set up different concerts and events throughout the week, the 2 weeks that we're there. And so we go out and just they pass out flyers, but then we also go out and grab the people, grab the teens, talk to them, encourage them, and invite them to the concerts. And so in doing that, we create community. We connect them with other teens and other youth and young adults that are in the church, and some of them have never been to church before. Some of them never heard the gospel. You know what I mean? And it was really cool. It's always cool to go over there and to introduce Jesus and just to show love, basically, because somebody who don't really know who Jesus is or haven't really heard of him, you can't just say, oh, you need to give your life to Jesus. They're like, who is Jesus? You know?
Right.
So you
Can't get them about it.
So really just going to go show love and connecting, and then our gifts and the talents that we have, that's kind of like a tool, and they love it. I go over there and sing, we'll rap or whatnot, and they like, oh man, okay, we like this. And then they'll come and we'll share our gifts, and then we'll present the gospel, and a lot of them respond. That's really almost all of them respond. But either way, the ones that hadn't, we plant the seed, and so that's what we're able to do. Connect.
How does that feel though? Like, because like in America, like almost everyone's heard of the gospel or had the taste of it, right? And to be like somewhere where, maybe half of the people never even heard of Jesus or never even heard of the Bible or whatever. Like, is it weird? Like, is it like how does it feel? Like, I've never been in that situation, so it's like.
I would say that's a good question. I mean, it's fresh, man. I mean, it's like presenting. Now, let me not get it twisted. England, they know who Jesus is. They know, they there's a lot of Christians there, but Catholics, there's some other religions there as well. But the youth that we come in contact with, a lot of them, they're not plugged into a church. They're not plugged in at all. They feel like, okay, when I get older, I'll go to church. Like my grandma, she goes to church, but it's more, you know what I mean? And so a lot of them are just, especially with social media, music, everybody has headphones on. So it's a little different. So, but it's fresh when we share our testimonies. And that's really what really pulls them in is our stories and how we've been changed by Jesus. Yeah, you know what I mean? How we were before. A lot of them deal with what we've dealt with. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of them want to know how to get out of it. And so it's really refreshing, to go over there and to present our testimony and the message of the gospel. So it's really not a tough thing. Here it's like everybody's already experienced church. Already, you know what I mean?
I've already been prayed for
right
every corner.
Yeah. And they've been church hurt, and they've
San
been
Antonio. It's like taco shop, church.
Yeah.
Taco shop.
Yeah. But I think what we do is we develop a relationship, because that's really what it's about. Yeah. Even between me and Jesus. Yeah. It's about relationships. So we create relationships with them because we genuinely want to see them do good. I don't want to see a young kid on drugs. Right. I don't want to see him being a gang member and and doing that. I don't want to see that. Right. I want to see you do better. I want to see you reach your full potential. And so showing them that first, that I care about you as a person. I'm not just trying to win souls. I'm not the one to do that anyway. You know what I mean? It's the Holy Spirit, But I want to show you that I genuinely care about you. Yeah. And if you don't want to come to church, I'm not going to be like, oh, forget it, you're lost, whatever. Right. I'm going to say, man, I love you, man. I want the best for you, though. There's more for you, so...
And that's why it's important to share our testimony. Exactly. Because the word says that they overcome by
the blood of the Lamb.
Exactly. By the word of our testimony.
That's right.
It's important to share that.
And I feel like testimony brings us down to their level. Because a lot of them, even though we're already at the same level with them, most people think we're, like, especially with Christians, they think they're
holier than thou.
Untouchable. And when we come to their level, we're like, no, we're exactly like you. We got this person that's amazing, that changes your whole aspect of life. It changes your life inwardly. And, I think that's beautiful. And then you present it to these kids that have never even heard of it. It's just like...
It's outstanding.
You're being real with them.
Yeah,
and that's what they look for. They want real.
Yeah.
They want you to be real.
That's true.
They don't want you preaching at them all the time and pointing your finger down their nose and just listen to them.
Right.
But at the same time, when you get a chance to get a word in, share some of yourself, what you've been through.
Yeah.
Because it speaks volumes.
It does.
To them.
We all got dirty rags.
We do.
Yeah. On our best days, we still.
Yes.
It's a key word you said though earlier about being plugged in. And tell us a little bit about Boston before the gospel Boston.
Okay.
Because the plugged in part, when you're talking about the youth being plugged in, not being plugged in,
right?
How did you get here? As far as getting into gospel music.
Got you.
Because
where were you before he changed me?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually in church. You know what I mean? But, my body was there, but my heart was somewhere else.
And that's one good.
You know what I mean? And because I was looking for something that I thought I was going to find that would be better than where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so as a teenager, 18, 19, my wife and I, my girlfriend at the time, we had 2 kids, and I'm trying to I'm still growing up, and I'm like, man, I need to provide for these kids. And so I was in college. Shout out to A&M, Texas A&M, your boy's an Aggie, So I'm a young father, college student trying to make it, and I got into music right after high school just as a hobby, and taking every opportunity to perform at clubs and different things like that. And I just kind of fell into the lifestyle of just the club, scene, as far as everything that had to entail with the drugs and just the whole scene. Yeah. And the music was the soundtrack of that, and we're creating those things. And the company that I kept that's what we were about, And I just came to a point where I just wanted something different. I was tired of all the darkness. I was just tired of feeling like I was I couldn't get further than where I was. And I'm like, I knew who Jesus was, but I said, God, I need your help. I need your help. I don't want to live like this anymore. And when I said that, everything came crashing down. I almost lost my girl, my family, because of stuff that I was doing, that I was getting into, because of insecurities, because of, just immaturity. And so as all those things start coming out in the wash, I was able to, by God's grace, He redeemed my life, and, got married, began to be responsible, finish school, even though it took me a while, but and all along, and I will say, my friend Puntin, Greg Cooks, when we were both doing our thing for the world, God wouldn't let us link up. He wouldn't let us, because Puntin was doing it big, with what he was doing with his group, and I was, just moving with what we were doing. And God would never let us cross paths until He changed us, and then that's when we start doing music together, because we were both trying to, you need to surround yourself with people that are trying to do. If you want to change, you need to surround yourself with people that want to change. Right. And y'all do it together and hold each other accountable. But he called me one day and he said, Boston, man, we got to be obedient. We got to be obedient. And after I hung up the phone with him, it was like everything that I knew that I was doing wrong, that I could control, it was like little light bulbs, bing, 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 and that I could stop doing personally. It was going to take some effort, but I knew, okay, you need to stop doing this and stop doing boom, boom. And then I was like, okay, God, I need your help. And he called me, and he wrote a song, and it's called Lord Help Me. And so as I'm writing the verse, I'm asking God, I need your help. We can't do it. I can't do this by myself, because I'm fighting with the devil every day. Yeah. And so from that point, God just continued to strengthen me as I continue to just try to push forward and develop a close relationship with Him. And God just kept opening doors. I was able to share my testimony, at outreaches. That's why I really have a heart for outreach, because that's what really helped me. That's what helped me, by sharing my testimony, sharing what Jesus did for me in my life and the darkness that I was experiencing, to finally really, even though I was in church, I was still in a dark place.
Yeah.
So what are one of the dark places, in case a young person is listening?
Got you.
What is the dark place that you was in?
I was,
and the Lord changed you.
I was insecure. I was insecure. And I don't know where that stems from. You know, my stepfather raised me, but that's my dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been there, so it wasn't like I didn't have a mom or a dad. Like, you know, I do have a relationship with my real father. You know, I don't know where the insecurity came from. You know, but trying to fit in, trying to be cool. You know, like it's the same. It's the same old thing. And then I just start getting into stuff. Yeah. Then I started developing habits, you know. So it was like one thing where, it was like, man, I want to be cool, like, you know, and not like, I want to be cool, so I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. No, you know, not like that, but just like, man, like, I want to fit in. You know, I'm in church.
You didn't want to be left out.
I didn't want to be left out.
And that's the thing, because like going back to being plugged in. That you're saying those kids weren't being plugged in. That's kind of what happens when you want to fit in and be with the cool people or wherever is hot at the time. Yeah, you end up. It's not that you're a bad person. Right. You just kind of want to be a part of something.
Yeah, because no one wants to be lonely.
Exactly.
No one.
We weren't created to be alone, man.
Exactly. So explain how things started to shift when you started to hang out with the right type of people that will elevate you. Explain how some of the things started to take shift in your life.
Got it. So, as I was saying, with getting with Greg, it was a whole new world. And I just started with, it just started with one or two friends. And it was like, when you focus on one thing, like if I focus over there in that corner, everything over there, that's my view. That's what I see. That's what I know I can do. But it's like when I change my perspective, it's like, oh man, this is I can do. It's so much stuff over it. So I changed after my focus was changed. Refocused, okay. Right? Then it opened up to a whole new realm. You know, of people, of situations, doors that were opening, and so I just started delving into that and connecting one at a time, you know, and it start building on that, you know, with people that were wanting to change, people that had been changed. Then I'm like, that's what I was like, okay, all right. So when you dealt with this, okay, that's what you did, okay, you know, and that's what really helped, you know, plug me in. And then there was a point in my life, in our life, where in church I was like, man, I want to grow. Yeah. My pastor was talking about it last night. Like, God intends for us to grow, like intentional growth, intentional growth. Like, you know, intentional. Yes. And I wanted to grow. My wife and I, we wanted to grow. I wanted to see our kids grow. It's like we need to be stronger. You know, the only thing that can, you know, really build us up, right, is God's word. And so we found us a church that our family could grow in. And when I say getting plugged in, it's important for that, and not just for me and my wife to grow. Like I said, we want our children to grow. So the ministry that we, went to and actually attend now, Christian World Worship Center, shout out to CW. Our children were able to be plugged in to learn God's word. We were able to get our worship on, get some good hearty word every Sunday, every service, and our family began to grow, you know, and so that's what's important. So to answer your question, just to recap, when I changed my focus, that whole new world and that realm that was opened up, that created more relationships with people that were already changed and people that were still striving to live a better life, and that's what we want to see. These youth, next generation, youth, young adults, anybody that needs life change, that's what we want to see for them.
Because being plugged in also involves just participate.
Definitely.
Don't just like hold the wall.
Right.
You know? Because you can be there but not be there.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You
serve it. You gotta serve.
Yeah. You gotta be vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like a lot of it's hard to do that. Like it's hard to be vulnerable.
People have a lot of walls up, man.
Yeah. And especially like when you are ministering to someone else, not just them being vulnerable, but you, because like if you don't put your whole life on the line for anybody, it doesn't matter. Like, because if we're supposed to be Christ-like, he put his whole life on the line. He didn't say, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time and I'm gonna open up a little bit, but
he gave it all.
Yeah, he literally gave up his life for us. So I feel like that's what we do with others. Like, you got to open up. I mean, don't tell them every single secret the first day you meet them. Right. Like, open up.
I mean, that's the whole point of once you get connected to something that is more valuable, that's going to bring you, it's going to nurture your dreams and nurture your discipline. You know, when you're out and about, you know, because you do a lot of stuff. We haven't even touched the surface on what you really do. Yeah. We're going to get on Deacon Boston.
Yeah.
Shout out to Deacon Boston. Y'all going to find out. Y'all don't know. But before we get into that, touch on something real quick, because I really like this plugged-in theme of getting connected. When you're out and about ministering to people overseas, has anyone ever come up to you and tell a story or just share something like, hey, like this song really touched me because I relate to this or I relate to that? Has that ever happened to you, like after meet and greet or whatever, someone come up to you and...
Yes, sir. Yeah, all the time, man. It does. And even if it's just once, it's encouraging. It's encouraging to know that I'm not the only one
suffering
that has been through some stuff, still goes through things, and I do get youth. I get just people. I don't even, because you know, we go to, you do youth events, but everybody hears it. You know, not just youth events, but just events. But you know, a lot of times we reach out when we go to certain places. We're going to go get, you know, the youth. So it's a blessing to be able to share the fact that I couldn't do it by myself, and so I had to connect with. I had to connect with someone greater than me.
I like that.
You know, with more power than me, with more wisdom than me, so that I can get through this situation. And that person for me is Jesus. And when I share that with people, and they, or even just like you say, as I'm sharing a song, and they come and say, "Man, that touched me, man." You know, that what you shared in the lyrics, I felt that before.
There you go.
You know, and that's a blessing, man. And you know, it's confirmation, it's encouraging. That's what keeps me going. You know, because I'm not a dog out here trying to get a bone. I got a college degree. You know, but I know that I'm called to do this. And there are times sometimes I'm like, man, you mean, you know, I would like to stay home with my kids and my wife and my kids and chill out and watch movies and barbecue, and you know, I do that stuff. I'm just saying, but when it's time for me to go out and to share and to minister and be away, I got to do it because I'm called to do it. You know, I was sent. I don't just go, you know, unless God sends me. So that's encouraging when I get that, even if I don't get it.
Yeah.
It is not, I just still know, but I do, to answer your question, I do get that a lot, man, from people saying, man, your music, even still today, like my first album, like people still like, they're like, man, like that first project, it still blesses me, you know, because it's timeless, and we've all been through it, you know, so it's encouraging.
If you're just tuning in, I want to give a quick shout out to Rockafellas Barbershop and the owner, Rico Rodriguez. He's making it happen over here, letting everybody know what's up in San Antonio. And big shout out to Sam. Sam, you want to plug in?
Follow me on Instagram, Sam EL Barber.
There you
2
go.
dots.
Now, Boston, man, let's get on. You have this little comedy stuff you do on the side.
Yeah.
And tell people, who's this Deacon Boston?
Well, Deacon is, I guess it's like a little alter ego, man. I think my wife always calls me an old man. Puntin calls me an old man, I guess I'm an old man.
You are an old man.
You know, I was raised by a few old men, you know, crazy old men. But Deacon Boston is saved. So my mom, as a kid, my mom used to dress me up like, put my dad's clothes on, and she would stuff me with other clothes, and I would go outside and just kind of, you know, run around and, you know, make the kids laugh and stuff. So it kind of started there. But when I wrote my first album, Not About Me, my oldest uncle, I have 6 uncles, my Uncle Ellis, you know, all of my uncles are my favorite uncle, but Uncle Ellis, man, he funny, man, he crazy. So he had this neighbor that shot his dog out in the country. Ooh. And so My uncle went to him. I forget the dog's name. It may have been Blue. It's always a color. My uncle went to him. Was like, man, did you shoot my dog, man? And the dude was like, no, I didn't kill him. I just glazed him. So my uncle was telling me this, this guy, because that's how he talked, and that voice was so funny to me. And so when I was, creating my first project, I wanted to do an intro, and I just started talking like that. And then
do a quick Deacon Boston.
Yeah, give him a taste.
So it was like, yeah, you are tuned in now to Refocused iPod.
Hey, that's Deacon, all right. That's Deacon, all right.
Is that what it is? Is it a iPod? What is it?
iPad.
Yeah, iPad, UPad, Presem. Podcast. Yes, that's what it is. Oh, a lily pad. The lily pod. But yeah, man. And it just kind of caught on. And then I was reminded of how my mom used to dress me up, and and so I was like, man, let me just bring it to life. And then it just kind of blew up after that, man. I love to laugh. I do.
But I didn't really hear the Deacon Boston.
Oh, we gotta give him a teaser.
Give him something. You may not have the get up on, but
plug his. He has an Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Plug his Instagram real quick.
It's Deacon Boston. DeaCon BOSSTON. Follow Deacon.
Because you still do videos and skits.
I do.
So
I do.
You have a YouTube channel, or are you still building? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we did a TV pilot not too long ago.
Man, yeah.
And you also do this sometimes on the road.
Yeah.
Now tell us what's some of your interactions with people when they first see you, because he has a stomach, right?
Yeah. And a big old, can I say booty on it?
Yeah. It's real talk. It's real talk.
Yeah. He round. The front and the back.
And his proportion is not even.
No, yeah.
What's people's reaction though? When
people
they first see you?
Bro, they don't know what to think. They don't know if it's real. Like, actually, everybody thinks he's a real person. Like, that he's really shaped like that. And so they don't know to laugh or what. And so me seeing that, I'm like holding back all the time, because I see people like taking double takes, and I'll go everywhere.
In my old shoot that one time, people actually came up to me like, "Is he okay?"
Yeah. People think that he's sick because how the stomach is kind of like up in the chest and stuff, And so people think that either something's wrong, and then when I finally tell them, they were like, "Oh man, okay, I didn't know. Like, I thought this was, you were for real. I didn't know what was the matter, man." But it's great, man. But it's just good to just bring laughter to people, man, and switch it up.
That's the best kind of laughter too, when you don't know if they should laugh or not.
Right?
Because it's unexpected.
It is.
And
it is.
Once they get that break the ice type of deal, you also put some ministry into that as well.
Definitely.
And it can get from laughing to super serious.
Definitely.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Now,
just like right now.
Just like, I didn't mean to go that route, but when do you, when you balance your comedy and your music and being a father and a husband, how do you balance that life? Because that's a crazy schedule.
Yeah.
And plus you teach. You do a little teaching in school. So.
Yes, sir. God bless you, man. Hey, God bless you too. Thank you.
How do you keep
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
How do you keep that balance, man? Because your schedule can be like this, and then all of a sudden you got opportunity to go overseas. Yeah. How do you have that discussion with your wife? Like, hey,
Well, shout out to my wife, Katora, man. She's the one that keeps me balanced, and I think it's a mixture. But she knows that this is what I'm called to do, and she tells me that more times than not. And so that right there in itself gives me the courage and the confidence to do this, because as a man, I know what my first duty is, and that's to take care of my family, and I'm never going to stop. That's my number one. And so, but me having her support and her knowing, even though it's tough to be away, her knowing that this is what I'm called to do, and her having her blessing, so to speak, that gives me peace. And so, we do it together. and we take into consideration every opportunity, because I do get a lot of invitations. I do get a lot of pulling, and but I just need to know what my assignments are, know what I'm called to do, and then make sure that my children have me too. You know what I mean? That I invest in my children, not just financially, but give them my time, my attention, and so my wife helps me do that, man. And the people in my circle, like, it's not nothing wrong with having single friends, but a lot of my friends are married. Some people don't have kids and stuff, but most of them do. So they understand as well too. And so it's all it's about the relationships we have and the people that we're connected to, that kind of, sometimes somebody don't even have to tell you something, but if you see something, he's like, okay, well, I need to switch it up. I'm not going to do that today. I need to spend a little bit more time in this area. So my wife helps me to balance, man. And then, just being prayerful. Like, I don't lean to my own understanding, man. And now more than ever, I have so many options, and they're good options. But I can't do them all. I can't. And it's hard. Yeah. And I'm like, Lord, I need your guidance. And I have to pray, man. Like, so, prayer and talking with my wife and community, because if she ain't happy, or she, if I'm not, consulting with her, and like, there's sometimes where we compromise, on those, vice versa, but prayer and communicating with my wife, man, that really helps me to keep this mixture of everything that I'm doing, moving. And my kids, whenever I see them, man, that if that ain't motivation for you, to know that they're not gonna be young all the time, to know that they need you, to know that they love you. My kids love me, man. So I put it all down. If I would stop doing all of this, if I thought that it was, keeping my children stressed out or making them feel like they're not connected to their daddy. Yeah. I'd stop it all. Yeah. Because evidently I done thought wrong. But anyway, so hopefully that answers your question, man.
Oh yeah. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna do it. What is your favorite story in the Bible?
My favorite story in the Bible, man. Daniel is my favorite Bible guy, man. You know what I mean? So it would have to be somewhere around his stuff, So I guess I would have to say Daniel in the Lion's Den, because this guy, Lord have mercy, he was facing, almost every situation, but to be facing getting tossed in, put in the Lion's Den, to be faithful. Either you be faithful, right? Yeah. Or you get eaten, or you're dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Daniel in the Lion's Den, that would have to be my favorite story in the Bible. I love Daniel, man, because he was just in a time where, in Babylon, it was crazy. And we live in Babylon.
We are in Babylon.
Yeah. But Daniel in the Lion's Den. I'll say that.
Have you ever felt in a situation where you just felt like you got thrown in?
Yeah.
Can you touch on that just a little bit?
Well, and I guess in life, man, you do have. Okay, let me ask you to clarify though, because there's.
That's why, like, okay, let me see
your
what professional music. Ever been in a situation where you just felt like, damn, like you just got thrown into something, like as far as like, because you touched on like being faithful while you're still going through that situation. Right. Have you ever experienced like you doing your music thing and
somebody threw you in the Lion's Den?
Yeah, like something just randomly happened. It's like, oh snap, I gotta stay focused, gotta get through this situation. Or it can be personal.
Okay.
Because I could tell you, I've been thrown in the Lion's Den many times.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because there's in my mind there's a few aspects, and so I was just trying to get clarity on that. I guess, just to kind of, the first thing that came to my mind when you said that, I've had about faithfulness. Let me clarify on that. So I've had opportunities to go back to doing what I was doing secular, and I understand that if I was doing this for my own, because for my own which I don't even have those desires anymore. But if I was doing it for secular, for the world, or just for a different purpose, I may be further along, more than likely. You know what I mean? Because you're selling yourself, you know, way more than than you should. And so I've had opportunities to where people would say, "Hey, man, I need you to do, would you be willing to do this or come back? We have this door open." And good doors.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want it. I don't want it. This is where my peace is. This is where my purpose is. And so, like Daniel, I've had opportunities to do something different. Well, actually, they wanted him to be disobedient to God, though. So, that's... Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. If I'm not doing what I'm purposed to do, what God called me to do, I'm being disobedient.
It's really the enemy working that distraction.
Right.
And that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Kind of tying back to the theme of today's talk, being plugged in and being connected to the right things that will not stunt your growth, so to say. Because it's easy to get caught up in a situation where you can take a shortcut. Because, I've been doing this the way you wanted me to, God, but I ain't seen results.
Right. Man.
Well, if I go this way, man, I can get results that I see in my natural eyes.
Right.
Because Daniel, at that point, it wasn't like he was just any other, like, Hebrew. He was top-notch.
Yeah, he was top-notch.
When they threw him in there. So, like, that's the hard part is, like, you're up here, or you feel like you're up here. And then you get thrown into this lion's den, and you're like, am I going to still stay faithful? Am I still going to be there? Am I still going to be following God, even though I'm not here on top anymore?
Yeah.
I can't pay you this, but can you still?
Yeah. I think it's about knowing. I mean, because even with Daniel, I don't think he knew that he was on top. I think he knew who was on top. Yeah. I think he knew. I know he knew that it was God on top. So he's like, look. Regardless of what happened to me, I'm going to be faithful to him. He's the one, And I think just keeping that perspective, me knowing that, look, man, I'm not going to live forever. And when I do die, I want to go be with the one who sent his son to die for me so I can have life. And I think there's nothing else that has been presented to me that sounds better than that. Yeah. And then not just sounding, I've experienced so much love, so much peace, so much grace. I'm tapped into that, and I don't want to go back. There's nothing better, man. There's nothing better, Well,
we have a question.
That's good. What's going on, Doctor? My brother Patrick Stewart, he said, stay where you find your peace. And that's good. Yeah. That's real. And what peace is wholeness. Yeah. It's wholeness. Yeah. And I'm whole in Christ. Yeah. Even with the holes that I have, like he fills those voids.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember at one point when I was working at another job, like it was getting overwhelming, and I kept asking him for peace, asking him for peace, asking him for peace. Yeah. And I never got peace. I was like, where were you? I was asking for you for this, and he's like, you're seeking like characteristics, but you're not seeking me. I am your peace.
Boy, come on. Yeah.
Right?
And I was just like, man, I'm selfish because we want everything of the characteristics of Christ, but we don't want Christ a lot of times. And Daniel was like, that's my God. Like, he didn't care. Like, he just stayed
faithful.
Yeah, just stayed. Everything's going up and down, up and down. He's just Joseph. Joseph's my favorite character because, man, that dude went through.
Yeah,
and he just stayed.
Because he knew God was with him.
Right. Yeah.
He knew God was with him.
He had peace because he had God.
Yeah. The Bible says, if you keep your mind on him, you'll have perfect peace. They that keep their mind on the Lord will have perfect peace. Keep your mind on him. And that's good, man. That's good. God is good. He's faithful.
He is.
He really is.
He's faithful.
None of us would be on these mics if he wasn't.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's no lie right there. If you tune in, one more shout out, man. The big boss Rico Rodriguez and Rockafellas Barbershop. So Boston, man, say somebody, we haven't touched on this, but say someone wants to do what you're doing. They want to travel overseas. They want to do what their assignment is, so to say. What advice will you give to that person?
I'm gonna say definitely pray. Ask God. Like if you, I have to start with that. Praying and asking God, because I've always wanted to travel, and I wanted to be in the military. I love the military. That's what I wanted to do. My grandfather was in the military. My dad, my stepfather was in the military. I loved it. I was in the Corps Cadets at Texas A&M, and I was like, man, I want the military. I can travel. I can serve my country. You know what I mean? Be able to take care of my family. And that's what I thought I was going to do. But I also had this gift and this passion inside of me that every time I would put pen to paper, or every time I would open my mouth, doors would open, or lives would change, or there was something that was happening, because of what I was doing. You know what I mean? But I didn't realize it until I turned to God. That's why I say, I start with prayer. Until I turned to God and said, God, I need you, because you know everything. Like, you're all powerful. You're wise. I need you. Then as everything, all the other distractions begin to fade away because I'm focused on him, then he began to show me what he already placed inside of me. And then as I begin to be, to operate in those things that he's already placed inside of me, then that's when I realized what my purpose is. So I would say pray, ask God to show you, just seek God, seek him, seek ye first the kingdom, and everything else, so pray and ask God. He'll talk to you. He will answer you. He will. He is alive. He's for real. He's living.
Open to the answer, because some of us don't.
Yeah, no, that's true. That you're right. We definitely
may not like the answer you get.
Yeah. But the thing is, God wants the best for it, and he knows what's best for it. So if you don't like the answer, then you gotta. You probably don't like it because you know that it's the truth,
right? Yeah.
And you want to see. So you got to move the pride out the way, and it's just some, but. Not to, be too complicated. I would just say pray and ask God to, and you'll have peace. You'll have peace about it, and you'll know. And he'll send confirmation and all those good things.
And we cannot close this show. You got some events.
Yeah.
What's the most recent event that's about to take place, and where can people go? Is it free? Does it cost? Okay. And spill those details.
Cool. Okay, so the next event that I'm super excited about is called the His Light Project, and that's going to be October 14th at Christian World Worship Center. 6633 Walsham Road, San Antonio, Texas. If you're here, Austin, surrounding areas, come through. It will be free. I got my friends that's going to come, and we're going to have some fun. John Lopez, he's one of my favorite worship leaders. He's awesome. And so he's working on a new project and got some good music. Greg Cooks will be there. Vertical music from the Rock SA, Vertical Worship. They're going to come and share. They've released a new project. I'm excited about that. I got DJ Purity coming down from Dallas. So she's going to be on the ones and twos. We're going to do some live music. I'm going to do some, Deacon Boston will be there. So we're about to go in.
What time?
It's going to be at 5 p.m. sharp. 5 p.m. sharp. We're going to start. Be there early. You can. Doors open at 4:30. We got some pre-show stuff, but
is that 5 p.m. to 7:30?
Yes, 5
until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Till y'all get tired.
We're gonna start at 5, and we're gonna start right at 5. We more likely gonna be up right by 7:30. I think but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that. And then so come out, invite your family. It's free. Come fellowship with us and come experience His light. We got art, we got dance, poetry, comedy. We're just gonna we want to bring a little light to people's lives. I got some spotlight moments from some people that's doing some great things out in the community. Jarrell Johnson, Jarrell Flowers. I'm sorry, I mixed Cherie Johnson.
Sorry about that, Jarrell.
Sorry about that, Jarrell. Sorry about that, Cherie. I done put their names together. But they're doing some outstanding stuff in the community. And so I'm highlight. I got a few spotlight moments that we're going to spotlight some people that are just bringing light to people's lives and showing love in creative ways. And so it's gonna be really cool. And then I do want to mention too, our church is doing Bless Fest on Halloween. And Bless Fest is not just a festival that we do every year to be cute and fun. We're really, people from the church we are seeking to be a blessing, giving back to the community. We're giving away a car, paying a car.
What?
2 of them, I think. 2 cars.
Well, tell them what they need to do.
Maybe one. I'm gonna say 1 car. We're giving away a car, okay? And to somebody that that needs it, of course, you got to write in. And then also, we're paying some rent for 6 months.
Oh wow!
We've done that for.
Y'all want to show up?
Yeah, come through, and
I might need to show up.
Yeah, I mean, just write out what it is that you need, and but come on the 14th, and we'll have all of the information too. And then of course, just check out my links or anything like that.
Drop them real quick.
So on Instagram is Boston 210, Boston 210. My Facebook is Boston Music or Keedren Boston. You can follow me on there as well. I usually put everything up there, and I'll have all these links where you can go to for Bless Fest, and then my favorite event as well too. Well, Bless is one of my favorite too. But we're doing Feast of Tabernacles at our church.
Can you tell them where the Bless Fest is?
It's going to be at 6633 Walsham Road. It's going to be at Christian World Worship Center out in the parking lot. You're going to see it all. You're going to see the joy jumps, the food trucks. Everything is free. You come and you just be blessed. Bring your family, your kids. We got candy. We got so much candy. We're doing our series this month for our children's ministry. My wife and I were the children's pastors, and Glow in the Dark is the theme. Is our theme for this month. So when you come, bring your kids on Sunday. If your kids ain't got no church, bring them on Sundays, 10 o'clock, all right, to Kingdom Kids. But we're going to have a glow-in-the-dark tent where they can come in, get their candy. We party for a little bit, then you go out, get you some food, jump, and stuff like that. So y'all come out on October 31st, right? That's Halloween.
Yeah.
But while the world is celebrating darkness, we are celebrating His light. Doing that on the 14th, jumping it off. And then we got Feast of Tabernacles the last weekend of this month at CW as well. Come through. That's going to be outstanding. I can't wait to get some word from there. And then on Halloween, we're doing Bless Fest. Bring your family out. Come and hang out with us, and be blessed. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up the show, you got music all over the place, iTunes, everywhere.
Yes.
What's your most recent project that you just dropped not too long ago? Okay,
this single, Walk on Water. Yep, I dropped it, and I love it.
Explain the concept of that song.
Perfect.
And the message.
Okay. Well, stepping out on faith. And what's crazy is my pastor on 9/11 last year, he preached a message called That's the Purpose. And he was talking about why Jesus walked out on the water when he could have, just appeared on the boat. He was on the mountain. But he mentioned that Jesus wants to show us His presence like never before, His provision like never before, and His power like never before. But we got to get out the boat. We got to get out of our comfort zone, and we got to walk to Him. If He called us, we're not walking on the water. We're walking on His word. Yeah. And a lot of us, we are in a position where we're walking in divine provision. A lot of you listeners out there, you got jobs that you're not qualified for. You're in a position that you're not even qualified to be in. But you're there because of divine provision. God made way. He made a way for you to be in that spot. A lot of us are in houses that we shouldn't have got. They told me we couldn't be in the house that we was at. And I looked them in his face and said, no. I said, the heavens are open, the devourers rebuked, and my favor's here. And 4 years later, we're in this house that my family needed. It wasn't just like I wanted this big house because that's what I wanted. We needed it, 6 of us, Yeah. And so we are in places where God has provided for us. And God provided a way for Peter to get to Him, even though he was walking on water, And so that I was inspired before I heard that message, but that just drove it home for me, And so I actually had already wrote the song too, but I have a live band. Shout out to Levi Baker and all my brothers in Detroit. And my manager John Baker. They helped us put all of this stuff together, man. And so you can find that on, man, y'all go to my website. It's bostonsworld.org, and you got everything there. I'm sorry.
Everything.
That's not everything but that website.
Plug. Everything but the website.
That's the main plug.
That's the main plug. That's the main plug. And I got everything else. Come on now.
Repeat it again.
bostonsworld.org. Yep. And you're gonna see what matters most to me, and at that website, and so go enjoy, check out the music, and come fellowship with us. If you ever see me out, come holler at me. I love you guys, man. And shout out to Refocus.
Hey man, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That's everything we talk about today is about connection.
No doubt.
It's about getting involved and recent events, with Las Vegas and all this crazy stuff going on in this world. It's very important that we focus on those things today and don't put them off.
That's true.
Like, they did me wrong, so, I'm going to just snip and whatever. So, have a good one, sir.
Thank you for your service. What's up?
It's so easy to get caught up in emotions to where you start damaging opportunities to connect. Yeah. To the point to where it's too late.
Yeah.
So, just people listening out there, make sure you make that effort to take action today. Take it while you can still take it, because there's a lot of people who won't be able to take it no more because life happens.
Yeah.
Things happen and time passes by and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep that in. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, since what you're saying is really good, and what popped into my spirit right now was to ask you if today was your last day on Earth, what would you tell the people listening right now? Just flow from there. What would be something to close off where they're like, man, I never got to meet that guy? What would be the last words?
Wow.
That's real good. This is after. Okay, yeah.
You ain't here no more.
Jesus has been faithful to me. God has been faithful to me. He's been faithful my whole life. Trust him. I can't even try to be at that time, I couldn't be philosophical. I'm thinking about this is my last moment. I love you. We're on this earth to love God and to love people. But people, I would say trust Jesus. If you have not opened your heart and your life to him, do it. You'll never be the same. You'll never be the same. Just try him. Open your heart to him. If you've tried, you've tried it all. Especially for those of you who have tried it all and you're to a point where you don't know where to go. Try Jesus. Try Jesus. He's real. He's real. He's changed my life. I can't speak for anybody else personally. You know what I mean? Inside, but I know he's changed me, and I've never been the same. I'll never be the same. You put it like that.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
I mean, that puts everything, connecting the dots, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. That's
completion. Yeah. That's a mic drop moment.
Yeah.
There's so many mic drop moments on these interviews, man.
Yeah.
Because it's once we get,
because we want to hear the rawness.
Yeah. When we get to the end of the show, it's always a full circle.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to know the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Why is Boston traveling so much? Why is he always getting this and that? Well, it's because he's doing his assignment, and those are just extra things that just kind of comes with it.
This guy's crazy, man.
Because people get caught up in the looks of things versus the reasons of things.
Right.
It's like fruit. Fruit, if you eat it before it's ripe, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It tastes weird, but when it's ripe, it's awesome. And everyone just always sees the right part. They don't see the growth of the fruit.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. You know, it's, I heard people, you see people's highlights on social media.
ESPN highlights.
Right. You know what I mean? But, I mean, we go through things, and there are mental battles and spiritual battles all the time, and just stay in your lane. My uncle told me a long time ago, just stay in your lane, nephew. And I don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing. Like,
just be happy with that.
Just running your own race.
Yeah,
people have that carrot on the stick. Like, I'll be happy one day after this, and this. But if you just be happy right now in the moment, because this
seasons change, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Seasons change. It's not gonna always be bad. It's not gonna always be good.
It's not gonna always be summer.
But it won't always be the same. Yeah,
you got
Ecclesiastes talk about it.
Yeah. Time and season for everything. It is, so stay in your lane, trust God, and you'll have peace, man. You really will. And God, it's been God opening these doors. I just walk through them. If God opened the door, I'm gonna walk through them, man.
If He closes, just wait.
If He closes,
and that's the other thing too.
Walk away.
In the last 2 minutes we have, talk a little bit, just real quick, about patience, because not only did you make the choice to take action on doing what you're doing right now today with your music and with your family and with comedy. Yeah. You didn't just take action. You had to be patient with getting the results you wanted or that you were inspired to have. Talk about a little bit about patience and how important that is while you're going through the process of developing everything.
That's real. I think first realizing that we're growing, that it's a process and that I'm still growing. And so as I'm growing and learning, it's like I want to be right. I want to be ready when I step out there. And so consistency is key. Just staying consistent, keep plugging away at it, keep plugging away, and just stay encouraged, That's very important. Stay consistent, especially if this is what you're supposed to do. Discouragement will come, sometime when you don't see the results. Yeah. But you have to keep working at it. You have to keep plugging away, stay consistent, and as you grow, like I'm always asking God, what do I do next? Seeking Him in His Word and talking to my wise friends and the leaders that I serve with and just being consistent, man, and knowing that I don't know everything. I fumble on my words, I mess up, I'm not perfect. So it's like, man, let me just continue to just stay patient, continue to wait. And I do want to say this, for my Christians out there, we have the fruit of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. And what's one of the fruit of the Spirit? Isn't patience one of them? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear y'all saying that y'all don't have no patience, because then basically you're saying you don't have one of the fruit of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. So I think if we just continue to speak that we, even if you don't want to say that you got patience, just wait. Still wait. Just say, God, I'm going to trust in you, Lord. Even though it is tough. Yeah. I'm in a position right now where I'm having to wait. But I'm having to just be patient. And all I can do is just say, Lord, I'm going to trust you. But what do I have in my hand right now? Yeah. Let me focus on this.
Right.
Because I think patience comes from looking at the next thing.
Yep.
Impatience comes, I'm sorry.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, because you see what is going out there and you want it, but you already have something. Don't focus on that. Don't forget what you already have, because once you forget that, how is you going to trust you to have the other stuff? Yeah. If you can't manage $2, how you going to manage $2 million?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, on that note, man, it is 11 o'clock. I just want to say thank you to Keedren Boston, man.
Yeah, it was really
real quick, man. Drop your social media and your website.
Okay. Social media on Instagram and Twitter is BossTon210. I usually don't like saying it like that, but that's how you write it. And then my website is bostonsworld.org. Boston's World, and you spell that Boston's like the regular word, BOSTONS world.org.
And Sam?
Follow me on Instagram, sam.l.barber, and follow my wife, Hair by Cassie. a K and 3 E's.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This is the 5th episode. I never stated my name. Man, I'm so sorry. I am Shemaiah on this microphone. And shout out to Miss Deborah.
Yes.
And you can follow us at SPS Refocus Mag on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. And refocusedmagazine.com. You can catch the podcast there every Thursday by 5 p.m. sharp everywhere. Last but not least, big shout out to Rockafellas Barbershop, the owner Rico Rodriguez. Yeah. And one of these days, I promise you, we will get Miss T on the mic. We're still going to get it.
She always has a customer on hand when we're recording.
So
doing a thing, y'all come see her.
We'll have to do like a commercial one day or something just switch it up. But you guys enjoy your rest of your day. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, especially someone that you feel will be ministered to this and inspired by this.
Yeah.
Keep fighting, keep believing, and our hearts and love goes out to everyone in Las Vegas right now and just everywhere right now.
Puerto Rico,
everywhere, man.
Still Houston, Florida.
Yes.
Every single neighbor.
Yeah.
Amen. So on that note, y'all take care. God bless. Peace out.